GM, welcome back to the 1111 Mivits Football Show. I'm Sergito, and I'm here with Bojangle Guy, our head of ops and community at Miko. This is a show to get you guys ready for the World Cup. We'll be talking about international soccer, what's happening this week. We had some really good um, Champions League activity, the first leg of the quarterfinals. This is the European champions. So it's the club championship for the continent. And I think, again, I've said it many times. If you've been listening to us before, I've said it many times, but I think it is the highest quality soccer that you can watch anywhere. And so, yeah. H, how are you, dude? How are you? How were the matches for you this week?
Good. Yeah, it was interesting. Some interesting like stats and timelines that happened, like some random things that happened, and we'll get into it. But um, PSG won, so I was happy with that. It was good, a good soccer all across the board. So, and it's just the first
How
leg.
much do you like that now your job at Mipco also includes like 4 hours of soccer watching every week?
It's great. My wife's like, "What's going on? Like you're on streams now? Like what are you guys turning into?" Like, so it's been fun. No, I love it. It's been great.
Just trying to survive there, Mrs. Bojangle guy.
Yep. No, it's been
All
awesome.
right. Well, let's get right into it. I think on Tuesday, right before the games, was Monday or Tuesday? Days are getting all mixed up.
Tuesday.
We talked about setup. Yeah, the setup going into the games. You had two games that same afternoon on Tuesday, and then two games yesterday. The market had very clear favorites, and we had a couple of upsets, I would say, or not upsets. One upset, um, maybe two. I don't know, but one definitely upset, and then maybe a couple games that were closer than I would have expected. So why don't we just kick off with the first one, which is the one that I was assigned to watch. Thank you, Miko, for paying me to watch soccer a couple hours a week. And this was Bayern beating Real in Real for the first time since 2001 in Santiago Bernabeu, which is the Real Madrid Stadium. It was a 2-1 final result. That was just a really intense match. I mean, from the first minute, Bayern Munich was just putting pressure on Real. I haven't seen a team play with so much intensity from the first second in a while. And again, I don't really watch a lot of soccer. Obviously, that's changing here as we go into the World Cup. But I watched this full 90 minutes, and it was from the first second. Bayern was on Real, and they never ever ever let go. And so that was super interesting for me because even though the score is just 2-1, the reality is that second score from Bayern, they went up 1-0 at the half, came within 60 seconds, I think, of the second half starting, and that was a result of that pressure that Bayern put on Real nonstop, which paid out for them. So it was really interesting to see them just take it to the house. Santiago Bernabeu, the Real Madrid stadium, obviously it's not like it's a hostile environment, but it's one of those like cathedrals of international soccer. So the fact that Bayern had no qualms about just going for it was super interesting. It makes for really good watching. Funny doesn't result in a final score stat line that really catches your attention, but to me, the player of the match was Manuel Neuer. He is the goalie of Bayern and also of the German national team. He is one of the best goalies in history. He redefined the way goalies play. And as I've said before, I'm a goalie myself, so it's really always a joy to get to watch him. He had some incredible, incredible saves in the first half and in the second half too, but mostly in the first half that really gave Bayern that opportunity to continue putting pressure on Real and just um, I feel like if any of those had gotten through, the game mechanics would have changed a lot. And just for those of you that don't really follow soccer too much, for you guys to know, we, it's a big field. It's like a football size field, pretty much. I don't know what the exact difference is. And you have 11 players, and obviously the play is always going at the same time, right? It's not like football where you stop and you realign and you throw the ball, and if it's out or you don't catch it, whatever, the play stops. Here you're always just running. So when a team like Bayern Munich decides to just put pressure on the other team, and we usually see this in like knockout games where one team, really has to either tie the match or go up a score. It's games that are not really balanced. What happens is, obviously, as you press with so many forwards, you will not get a lot of time to, or like just people in the back to defend. So it becomes this game of cat and mouse where the attacking team leaves a lot of open space in the back. And so the team that's on the defense can obviously, use long balls to try to create havoc and take, opportunities like one-to-one matches with the defense. And we saw a lot of that with Real Madrid really, really getting close. But again, Manuel Neuer had some incredible saves down. Like, I don't know how to describe them. Yeah, I hope you guys can watch the highlights. I don't know if you saw that one.
I didn't watch the full match. I did see the highlights. But yeah, I mean, great match. And it comes back to the goalies. We were talking about goalies. I back when Italy lost, right? Obviously one of the best goalies in the world there too. And it's just like the goalies just have so much pressure. So for him to step up, I mean, I couldn't be a goalie.
Well, that's why he's one of the best. That's why he's one of the best. Honestly, like the way he plays is insane, and like you can just tell his technique. And if you're not really a goalie, you can't really tell the difference, right? All you want is for people to get in front of the ball so it doesn't go into the goal. But his technique with like cross hands or it's really hard to stop shots that are going to the bottom because you have to find the right angle, otherwise you like hit your elbow and you're short. And he just has really, really good technique. So it was really fun to watch it. It was also great to see Mr. Harry Kane. He is now the leading candidate according to prediction markets. And here, if you want to share my screen, I'll show it.
Yep, we're good.
Am I showing it? Yes. So Ballon d'Or, or Golden Ball, pretty much is the prize or the award given to the best player of the year across all of international soccer. And so Harry Kane had been the third most likely winner according to prediction markets, according to Polymarket, as you can see here on screen. But after his performance, and he's a little older than the other dudes, obviously, like Lamine Yamal and Kylian Mbappe, and then Vini, they're much younger. Harry Kane has been around for a while. His odds just shut up, and now he's I don't say the clear favorites. Again, 27% is still kind of like a three-way coin flip. But as you can see here, he went up to 27%, whereas Lamine and Mbappe both fell down to 16%. Both of them were leading him by a couple of percentage points leading up to that match. Here, April 7th, day of the match, Mbappe had 24%, Yamal had 22%, and Harry Kane had 20.4%. That is now, obviously, Harry, as you can see here, 27%, the favorite, and then Lamine and Mbappe both at 16%. Not that they had bad performances. They both played really good games, but it's more so from, again, you look at the body of work and how good the team is and so on, that Harry Kane is now up in the favorite spot here, according to Polymarket, which leads me, we're going to do a giveaway of a Panini blockchain card of Harry Kane at the end of the show. So stay tuned. We'll tell you guys how you can win it. If you don't have a Panini blockchain account yet, probably a good opportunity right now to create it. Sometimes you need to go through KYC and stuff, so maybe we can help there at the end if you don't have it yet. But yes, so we're going to be giving away, where is it? Here it is. This FIFA Select Harry Kane Panini blockchain card to one lucky winner at the end of the show. I'm obsessed now with Panini blockchain.
So beautiful.
But yeah, we can talk about that another time. Last thing about Bayern Real, let's see here, is that after their win, they are now on the lead for winning the Champions League in prediction market. So as you can see here, we talked about it on Tuesday and the previous weeks. Arsenal, who's been on a run across all the tournaments that they're playing right now, has been in the lead for the most part, and Bayern just after beating Real. I would say like decisively, even though the score is just 2-1. Bayern was the much better team. Jumping up from 21 cents to 29, 30 cents. So a nice little 50% rally there for the German side. And Arsenal still pretty much same odds. They also had a really good result here against Sporting Club. Maybe you want to talk about that, Hunter, now.
Yeah, and that was the match I was watching. Obviously, I was rooting for the underdog, so that's what I was watching. Honestly, a very interesting match. Like, first of all, I about jumped out of my seat right like 5 minutes into the match. Sporting had the most perfect shot on goal. I mean, missed obviously, but I was like, "There's no way we're going up 1-0." 5 minutes into the match. Obviously.
Wait, so that's your team too?
That's my team. That's my underdog team.
Add it to the list
Add
of
it to the
teams that
list.
Hunter cheers for. Let's see where we are. Real, PSG, Sporting. Brother, you're like an airline pilot from the 70s. You got a family in every single country that you stop in.
Absolutely. No, but after that was pretty much it. Like, it was just a dogfight the rest of the match, and then again the heartbreak sets in. Sporting nearly scored in the 86th minute, so I'm thinking, here we are again, and then unfortunately the dreams were shattered when Arsenal scored in the 91st minute. So just pain when you're rooting for the underdog, but Arsenal obviously was heavily favored to win that match.
It was like 68% or something, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah, heavily favored. Sporting's by far, I would say, the underdog of the entire tournament of who's left. Clean sheet for Arsenal, which is great. I think this is their 7th clean sheet in the UCL this season, which is the most, proving why they're up there, being predicted to win. And they're still undefeated.
Still undefeated.
So
yeah, I mean, if you have clean sheets, you're undefeated, right? Yeah. That's pretty. So goes with each other. You can't lose if you have clean sheets.
Absolutely. So we'll see. Looking at the bright side for Sporting, there's, they held Arsenal to 1 at least. So,
as an older millennial, right, there was a figure growing up that taught us a lot about life and sport and winning and losing. His name is Dominic Toretto. And he said one time, it doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning is winning. So, 1-0, 10-0. Obviously, when you have this type of match where there's a second leg, makes a difference, but they still won. And now they go home, back to England to probably finish off Sporting there. But, never say never.
Never say never.
All right, and then on Wednesday, we had one good match and the other one maybe not so good. But Atleti went into Camp Nou, again, one of the cathedrals of international soccer, the Barcelona stadium. It's literally like a destination. Like, you go to Barcelona and you go to Camp Nou, even just to tour it. It is one of those places. Atleti had not won at Camp Nou, and again, they both play in the Spanish league, so they face each other quite often. We talked about they had just played in the league a week prior. There's other cups and so on. Atleti had not won at Camp Nou. Had not won. Shit, my Mexicanness is really kicking in today. Atleti had not won at Camp Nou in 20 years. I think neither of our interns have been born there. Like the last time that Atleti won at Camp Nou. And so they came in, and I think they won decisively. Something that happened, though, there was a red card in like the 43rd minute. Yeah, 43rd minute of the first half. It was a play that, to be honest, I know a lot of people always think if you're not like a soccer watcher, people that like soccer, there's a lot of fouls sometimes that get exaggerated. You get a red card in soccer for, obviously, if something is like flagrantly aggressive or violent. If you come in with a cleat, you hit somebody, like that's gonna be a red card. But red cards are also given by policy or default or by rule, if you are the last player, kind of like between you and the goal, the goalie, if you like really, if your actions prevent a very obvious goal scoring opportunity. So what happened here, and I forget who it was that was running with the ball. It was from Atleti, and the Barca defender kind of bumped into his leg. The guy from Atletico, I think, I don't want to say he sold it well because there was contact and definitely prevented his advance. And what happened was, it was a foul that got called immediately. The Barcelona guy got a yellow card, and then VAR, which is this video after review, which is widely used now in international soccer. Again, a lot of pros and cons. But they called the ref and they're like, hey, you have to take a look at this again. It was a clear goal scoring opportunity. The ref took a look at it. Even though the actual Barcelona defender raised his hands when he was going at it, he did get in the way. He did trip the Atleti attacker, and so he had to go back and give him a red card. So we mentioned it, I think it was last time or last week. In soccer, when you get a red card, that means you're expelled from the game. You can't even go to the bench. You go back to the tunnel, and your team is now playing with 10 men instead of 11. So you're down a man for the rest of the game, and that changes the mechanics of things a lot. We just talked about how Bayern was able to apply a lot of pressure to Real, which left a lot of opportunities open in the back for Real. Same thing here with 10 players. It's difficult. Obviously you start getting tired. You're down a man, and Atleti took really good advantage of it, starting with the penalty kick or the free kick. It was outside the box, just right outside the box, with the free kick that they took off that red card, and Julian Alvarez scored a beautiful goal, top right corner. It was honestly like, you should go watch it. We tried to put it for the Meet Football account, but I think we retweeted an account that is not licensed, and so UEFA took it down. But go to the UEFA page or just looking for the highlights. It was a beautiful, beautiful score. And Atleti has now scored 10 goals off set pieces in the Champions League this season, which is the most by any team. And it's really one of those things that, it's a secret weapon. And when it works really, really well. It was a beautiful score. And then, the rest of the game, obviously, you have stars like Lamine and some of the other Barca players that were really trying to cut the lead. But when you're down a man, at this level of soccer, it's really hard to do so. And so, first win for Atletico de Madrid at Camp Nou in 20 years. Did you watch this one, or did you? Oh no, you probably watched PSG, huh?
Yeah. And I must say, Diego is vehemently disagreeing with your commentary in the chat.
What is he saying?
As a Barcelona fan, he said definitely not a red card. Should have been a yellow card.
It was a red card, Diego.
Wasn't a clear goal opportunity. They were too far from
he was
the
the last
lane.
man.
So it sounds like a true Barcelona fan saying what a true Barcelona fan. I will say, I was listening to the commentators after the match. I can't remember. I mean, they're all football legends, and all of them. There was 3 of them on the broadcast, and all 3 of them were essentially in agreement that when it happened live, they were all, oh yeah, that was for sure a red card. That was right. But then as they had watched the VAR back, all 3 of them had actually changed their opinion, say like, no, it shouldn't have been a red card and that it should have been a yellow card. So I actually got on X and started like, I mean, obviously, if you're a Barca fan, you were very mad. Definitely should have been a red card. But then you had the other side of the story too. So, I mean, such is life in sports, right? Some people are going to be happy. Some people are going to be mad. But I think I feel like he did sell it a bit. He did, kick that leg back pretty far to
he
get
kicked
right
the leg
it,
back,
but
yes, but the body, like for example, right, like one of those fouls that sometimes it's not intentional, but you still have to call it. It's not about intent only. Like if you're still causing something, that has a consequence, right? So like a handball in the box, it's a penalty kick. Even if you were like, I don't know, saying hi to your mom. Actually, Atleti did get away with a handball in the box that was very, very egregious. And we can talk about that another time. Obviously, they won 2-0. And I don't have a favorite here, by the way. It's just that it was very clearly a foul. And if you follow the rule book, if you're the last man, and it was a clear goal scoring opportunity, it's a red card.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's one of those. You're right. Like if you're a Barca fan, you hated the call. Anybody else, you think it's a right call. But Diego, I mean, that strike by Julian Alvarez, you're an Argentinian fan. I mean, that was one of the most beautiful goals I've seen this year.
Yeah,
So
that shot was that was beautiful. And I also just wanted to mention, I know you mentioned it, but it's crazy the fact that two teams won in stadiums that they hadn't won in both for over 20 years. I think it's just crazy that happened.
we said it. We said it on Tuesday. Like, you can't there's no givens in soccer, especially at this level. All right. Before we go to your PSG review here, I think super interesting. Atleti, probably no shot of winning, but again, right, they went into the match at 3.4%, and they're now trading at 7. So nice little 2x there for any Athletic fans who put some money into prediction markets for it, which is super interesting. So yeah, obviously the next 2x from here would be like 15%, which now I think is really high. But this is one of those opportunities where you can get really cute with it if you want to, and put some money to work there and have some fun. But I know you're dying to talk about PSG, so please let's do it so that you stop giving me that look.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we came out with the win. I think
you played, you got tired.
I was on the bench. No, I think going back to Twitter, and I don't know how you feel about it, but the big talk, which wasn't even the win of the match, at least on my Twitter, it's funny how you might have a different Twitter than I have, right? So, but on my Twitter everybody was talking about Salah getting benched. It was all over my timeline, and obviously he's announced he's leaving Liverpool at the end of the summer.
Liverpool.
I don't know. How do you feel about it? Do you think they should have benched him, or?
I mean, he's old, right?
Yeah.
He's old. So, high stakes game against a very dynamic team like PSG. Yeah, it's one of those things where, again, now we find out he's leaving. No, we knew that he was leaving a while back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know, man. He's old. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Like, trust the coach. I mean, not like they've done well lately, right? I think Liverpool has lost 3 straight matches and only scored 1 goal across different tournaments. So that's a bad stretch. But all right, tell me about the game.
Yeah. Good match. It was, so going back to the goalie stuff, interesting. On the first goal, I watched it back so many times. When you watch it in real speed, it looks just like a clean shot, like just a nice shot, clean shot straight in. When you watch it back in slow motion, it actually is like a deflected ball, which when you think of from a goalie's perspective, I mean, your reaction time is, milliseconds. And so you see the ball going one direction, and then obviously it's bounced off something and going the other. But it's just crazy when you watch it back in slow motion how, I don't even know how it went in. Like when you watch it back, it bounces up in the air and just barely skims over the goalie's hand at the top of the goal. But nothing too wild. 2-0 for PSG. They'll have a rest. This, I think, is the interesting thing. PSG does not have a game scheduled over the weekend, so they essentially,
So like local French league.
Yep. So they'll have a rest, whereas Liverpool actually does need to play another match, not a Champions League match, obviously, but so not looking good for Liverpool, right? They're on a pretty bad streak, a 3-game losing streak. They've got to play a match between now and the next leg, and obviously PSG is got the momentum. So we'll see if they can pull off the miracle. I guess would be what would happen.
You're such a fan. You should have bought PSG back in March when we started the streams, dude. It was 8 cents. It's 20 cents now.
Would have been rich.
So a little uptick there, and then let's look at Liverpool taking a tumble. 7.5% odds now to 2.5. So that's a 66.666 repeating, of course, percent drop for Liverpool. At 2-0, It's gonna be hard for them to come back. I'm not gonna lie. So let's look at how the odds have changed before. So not the odds to win, but the odds to advance. And if you want to, I think we can leave this up. But we talked about the odds to go through to the next round. I'm actually gonna pull it up in Polymarket because we don't have it on Mevits Football just yet. And while I do that, so Real Madrid had 33% odds of going through to the semifinals before the match. They lost, and their odds halved to 17%. And I'm gonna pull it up right here. I should have pulled this up before the show. All right, I can't pull it up. Whatever. We'll just talk about it. You want to do the next one? Bayern?
Yeah, so Bayern started at 67% for the first leg. Obviously, they win. 84% chance to make it through the semis. So
Arsenal, 84%. So they were kind of like a lock-in to go into the semis. And that just ticked up a little more. 93% chance of making to the next round.
and Sporting. What were you going to say?
No, I was just going to say your boys, Sporting.
Yeah, my boys, the underdogs, are now severely the underdogs. So, it's, didn't really have much of a shot. 16% chance to get through. Now they're down to 8%. So it will be a miracle if they pull it off.
Maybe a nice little win if they imagine they pull it off. That's like a 10, 12 to 1.
Yeah, and like I said, they're only down.
But Arsenal is the favorite.
Yeah, Arsenal is the favorite, but you're only down 1 goal. At least you're not down.
Yeah, but you're going into Arsenal.
Right. You could have went into Arsenal though, like 3-0.
Down 3. Yeah.
Down, like going to get an early goal in that match. You get your spirits back in you, and you need 1 more goal. And maybe this is a good time to say this. So now that we are in the second leg, these next matches, and this has changed, I believe this year in the Champions League, is we will go to penalty kicks if there is a tie in goal count, not in the game. But if Sporting goes in, they score an early goal, and the match ends at 1-0 Sporting, it will go to penalty kicks to decide who advances in that league. So,
and that's a change because before, if you scored an away goal, it got valued a little bit over scoring a home goal.
Yeah.
So obviously, like one nothing each way doesn't really make a difference. But when you have like a 3-2 versus like a 1-0, if you won 3-2 at away, and then lost 1-0 at home, even though the aggregate is 3-3, since you scored 3 away goals, that would have put you over. So they've changed that. Some say to help Real Madrid. I don't know. Obviously, a lot of Real Madrid is like we've said it before. For those of you that don't follow football, like the Yankees, you love them or you hate them. Liverpool, their odds went down by more than half. They were at 37%. Odds to make the semis, 15%. Probably still too high if I'm being honest. Like it's just not looking good. Not looking good at all.
Yeah, and then the last two, it's funny. It's pretty much a complete flip flop. So Barca went in with 74% chance of advancing. They're now down to 28, and Atletico came in with 27%, and now they're up to 73. So they literally have just flopped spots. So
did I call Atleti last week? Maybe I didn't, but like that one it felt good.
I think you did. Yeah, I think you were on board with them going through.
There you go. Maybe I didn't, but I'm the boss, so you have to say yes. All right, let's. Is that all we got from UCL? Any other things? I can't think of anything, honestly. I think that was a pretty good overview. Oh, well, yeah. When is the second leg of this matches? That's going to be Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Those results will determine the semifinals, which will then be a couple of weeks after that. So this tournament coming to a close. Again, my personal opinion is the best, highest level of soccer. If there's a local soccer bar in your town, probably a good time to pop in for one of these matches and really enjoy. You don't realize how many crazy fans you have of like European soccer teams like hiding in the shadows in America. But maybe let's talk a little bit about World Cup. Just obviously no activity from international uh, teams, but we definitely have had some activity on the Mibets football market movers. What do you want to call it? Watch list. So again, this is a dashboard that will be live on Mibits.football when our full experience launches. And by the way, it's going to have this stream, actually bigger and better stream with our new co-hostess who will be joining us next month in New York. We'll have all the Mivits football drops, just like Group 1. We're building that out for the rest of the teams. We'll have merch, we'll have activations, we have an album feature, and then we'll have a markets feature that will allow you guys to just keep an eye on everything that's going on in the prediction markets world. And yeah, so our dashboard here, 24-hour change. We added a little volume filter because a lot of markets, we moved on like $100. Put $1,000 here, probably could have done more, but still super interesting to see kind of like what's been happening. And so, one theme that I see constantly is small teams that have zero chance of winning the World Cup, but as their supporters or as people start coming in and paying attention to the markets, obviously they buy them for like a flyer or just for hope or just to give them something to watch. People that ended up buying tickets to those games and are going to go might as well have some skin in the game. And those markets have been moving. Like Congo DR winning the 2026 FIFA World Cup will be like a 1 in a 100 millionth event. So probability wise, 0.4 cents is very mispriced. It's too high. But as flows come in, and flow begets flow is something we used to say on the trading desk at Barclays. As flow starts coming in, God, I just want to talk about ETFs, but that's a whole different topic. You see this kinds of moves. So Congo winning the World Cup is kind of pretty much doubled overnight as more people started putting money towards. So that's one theme. Small markets that don't really have countries, that don't have a chance, but as their supporters start coming in, there's 48 teams, those markets have been moving. And then two, just Japan, our dark horse. I'm going to end up buying a Japanese jersey this year. Their away one is beautiful.
Yes.
We mentioned it last time around. Japan to win the World Cup has really rallied. Again, I don't think they have a shot of winning the whole thing, but they can get very, very far. It's our dark horse pick here at Miko. But then other sub-markets, so like will they win Group F in the World Cup? So they're showing really good form. So that market is up 10% over 24 hours. Little liquidity and volume, but still thematics. I think it's important for the narrative. And then we have some other prop markets like Neymar and Messi. Will they play the World Cup? Neymar, I don't know. I should read how the market defines itself because he might get called, but he might not step foot in the field. So that's another type of market that we're watching. And lastly, I think France will also be one of those stories that we continue to. I'm gonna pound the table. I think winning the whole thing, France, dark horse Japan. I'm gonna have to start looking into some of the other ones to make some picks. But you can also bet on which continent is going to win the World Cup. Asia, this is a Japan derivative trade, obviously, which is probably lower than the Japan one, and so that's why people might be playing into it. The favorite continent is obviously Europe. They have, just by sheer size, they have the most amount of teams playing, but also they have France, Spain, Germany, Norway, Portugal, all of which are starting to see action in the poly market here through our Mibets football prediction market dashboard. Anything that stands out to you, Hunter, from this list?
Nothing crazy that we haven't talked about. Obviously, the Japan dark horse that Mibco is rooting for. I think for me on
We
the
should just put
prediction-
money on it and stop like talking about it, right?
All right, today I'm putting my money down. No, I think for just like the casual viewer, right? Like if this is your first year watching the World Cup and Mibits football is helping you get into that. And actually we'll have ways. I know Sergio mentioned a couple. Like we'll have way. If I don't want to tell anybody to spend their money and like go bet and gamble and whatever, right? But even if it's just writing it on a sticky note, like having, one of our favorite lines from our our most wonderful investors at one confirmation, right? Skin in the game. Like having skin in the game on something just totally changes the dynamic. It actually, it reminded me of when you got talking about like the betting odds and stuff. Is when we were at the F1 race in Vegas a couple years ago, and we all had money
Oh,
on like
on
Checo and
Checo.
he almost like came back and like it was probably the funnest F1 race I've ever been to. Like we're in the stands just screaming because there was actually a chance that it was going to happen. And like, so just having that skin in the game, like for those that are new to this and that this is going to be your first tournament that you're going to watch, like just pick a team, like any team, pick a favorite team, pick, one of the higher odds teams, lower odds teams, and just fall. Like it's just fun to see and have kind of that skin in the game. And so, yeah, I think that's what I'm excited for, is to start to see how things start to shake out. And again, I think I've said this every stream. There will be that one dark horse team, right, that nobody thought was going to get into the knockout stage, and then they end up into the round of 16, and that's when it starts to get fun, because you end up just becoming this patriot of some random ass country that you would never have thought of, but you're rallying for him. You end up buying a jersey for him. Something ends up happening. So it's fun, right? Just make it fun.
Couldn't agree more. All right, let's move to the last part of the show, and it is the giveaway. By the way, we have no official relationship yet with Panini, but we do love the team there, and we do love their community of collectors of Panini blockchain. And so, two things. One, they are having a pack drop for La Liga Soccer Parks, happening on Tuesday, I think it is. In 5 days. Keeping an eye on it. Obviously, a lot of the high-end players, as we just said, play for Barcelona, Atleti, all the different teams in La Liga. La Liga being the Spanish, national club league, and so they'll have this pack selling out, or hopefully selling out. Just started participating in those. It's been a lot of fun. There's also been a lot of like activity in the secondary market for soccer cards. So this is like their marketplace, which is interesting. We hate Christian Pulisic. He got dumped for being a cheater, by the way. This guy I've never liked him, and I don't like him even less now. So yeah, recent sales, you can filter by sport. We're gonna go to our favorite here, soccer. Apply. It's been a lot of activity, dude. Like a lot of activity, and they're inexpensive compared to some other NFTs. These are all on Panini blockchain, by the way. So yeah, $1, $2, $5 trades. William Fitz here going on a sweep of a lot. But even beyond this buyer going crazy, there's been a lot of different interesting collection going through. So for example, you can get Lewandowski. Again, he plays for Barca. Probably, I haven't looked at the list of cards that's going to be on this next pack that they're dropping next week, but it's not that expensive. You can buy one for $3, and they have some really cool stuff coming out. Maybe on Tuesday we'll talk about it more with like the cards and what's listed, or maybe we'll invite somebody from that community. Harry Kane, the Kaboom 33 or 49, just traded this morning, an hour ago, for $900. So definitely a lot of things here for all kinds of people, as far as like budgets or how much you want to collect or not. I really enjoy collecting Panini cards. Remind me of my childhood. And so we'll have some giveaways of their sticker albums here when they get delivered next month for this show. But today we are doing the giveaway of, where did I leave that?
Diego's asking, what's the cheapest Messi on Panini blockchain?
The cheapest Messi, so let's see. Here, come with me, guys. I'll show you. Messi.
I gotta say, I bought my first pack of physical Panini soccer cards, and I don't know if it was just beginner's luck or what, but in one pack, I can show this on screen, actually. I'll show on my camera, but in one pack, I pulled a Kylian Mbappe and a Ronaldo. I was pretty stoked about that.
Nice. So this are the cheapest item are the stickers. It's what, like of 2,600. But for $14, for the card equivalent, the cheapest one is this common 2022 Mosaic Road to World Cup FIFA Soccer Panini out of 1649, $28. Messi has really moved up. Cristiano has really moved up. Lamine, there's not a lot of Lamine cards because he's quite young. So there's not a lot of supply there. That's been seeing some supply shock. Cristiano Ronaldo, Mbappe, a lot of different players whose cards have gone up. I don't want to say insane just yet, if you compare to some of the prices that people were paying a couple of years ago, but definitely seeing some life into this market. And like it just showed how much activity there is, which is quite interesting. And obviously our beloved ETH NFTs in the hundreds and thousands of dollars. So being able to collect cool things that we like based on the sport that we like is for a few bucks, I think it's a cool advantage. So Cristiano Ronaldo, oh man, I was gonna buy this one for like $10 the other day. So the cheapest solo card is same thing, edition of 1600 for $20. And they go up quickly, and then like the kabooms and 101s are much more expensive. But yeah, I mean, you can get a Pitch Kings out of 149. We own a couple of these for $65. And there's a lot of like lore and things that have to do with the Panini brands. And so I'm not an expert by any means. Shout out to Spinotron and his crew who have helped us kind of like learn more about it. And so yeah, maybe we'll invite him next time, or somebody from that ecosystem to come talk about Panini blockchain and these trading cards. Let's see, what's another big player? I'll pick my one of my dark horses for card appreciation, Endrick. Not a lot of cards in this are a lot, but not as many as some other players. Definitely none with the current lineup. And so cheap $10 still with the Palmeiras jersey. A lot of fun. So you can search by athlete, you can search by team. So for example, I think there's Mexico cards. No, there's no Mexico national ones, but you can search like Real Madrid, and then you see all the players. And so you can buy some older Real Madrid cards for $1, for example, which I think is pretty cool. But yeah, that's all I got for. Oh, so yeah, giveaway of our Henry Kane card. Let me pull it up on screen. How do you want to do this, or do we want people to? How about people guess the result of Wednesday's matches, and then they leave it on as a reply to the tweet, and we see it? Or do you have any other way that's more efficient of giving away this card today? Also, people are going to need a Panini blockchain account, and that does require opening an account, which takes a little bit of time, so we might not be able to transfer it right now. So maybe it's good incentive for people to go and open an account, and we transfer next week. What do you think, Hunter?
No, I think that's good. I think what tweet do you want them to reply to? Or do you want to put out a new tweet from the Meebits football account and they reply to that?
So you must be following Meebits football. Reply to this stream's announcement, so the tweet that is showing this video right now, okay, with your guess for do we do aggregate or do we go match 2? It's the same thing, right? So let's do aggregate final scores between Atletico de Madrid and Barcelona. So again, that is the combination of the results from this week and next week. And then the games are Tuesday, yeah. And then Liverpool versus PSG. So give us the aggregate for those two series. Let's do 2 games so we have a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
And so whoever guesses correctly both series will win the card. If we have more than one, fuck it, we'll go buy more cards and we'll give them away. Why not?
Sweet.
And so those games are Tuesday, 3 p.m. New York time. So obviously, adjust to your time zones, but entries are open till kickoff, and then we'll close it out. Obviously, the timestamps on Twitter are gonna help us know who predicted what when.
Sweet.
Sounds like a deal.
May the best man win.
May the best man win. And also, I mean, listen, Real Madrid doesn't make it through, and Bayern does. Mbappe, even though he scored this week to counter Harry Kane's goal, you will get semifinal, two legs, and then the final. And so the final is in Budapest, and that is a neutral, call it neutral ground for the game. So there's the semifinals will have two legs, so that's two more matches, and then the final will have one match, so three more matches for Harry. He might be able to catch Mbappe for top goal scorer. Who knows? But yeah, very, very interesting time in international club soccer. And then you have so many other tournaments going on. Now, national tournaments, you have Europa League, you got the Women's Champions League as well. That is happening right now. They're playing at the end of the month. And there you have pretty much the same names: Bayern, Barcelona, Arsenal, Lyon, playing the semifinals. So that's all I got for today, Hunter. I don't know what else you want to talk about, or should we just call it a day?
No, yeah, I think that's good. You kind of already mentioned how the rest of that UEFA Champions League tournament will play out, which is crazy to think that, that will end, and then a week and a half later we're right into World Cup. So it's a good time to be a football fan.
It is an incredible time to be a football fan, and it is a great time to be a Meebits collector. We have some really cool announcements coming up with our creators and friends at Larva Labs. Obviously, the New York City event on May 2nd at Saturday's Football, that evening of Saturday, May 2nd. If you have an RSVP, please DM Hunter or myself. You must be a Meebit holder or a friend of the Meebits to attend. We do have limited capacity. So keep an eye out on that. And then for those of you who are attending NFC Lisbon, we will have a Meebits brunch on June 5th, I believe. I'm going to confirm and then put that tweet out later in the week. But yeah, a lot of really cool Meebits event happening. So thank you all for tuning in to the 11:11 show. We will see you again next Tuesday, right before the first games of the second leg of the Champions League quarterfinals.
See you, everybody.